mate. As you know, everything this government does is designed to strengthen our economy. At the moment, we are particularly keen to strengthen Australia's great agricultural sector. We've had a Northern Australia white paper, we've had an agricultural comparatives white paper. Australian agriculture needs to be at least as much a part of our economic future as it's been a part of our economic history. And part of building on the strengths of Australian agriculture is allowing people in this country and elsewhere to know exactly how much of the product is Australian. So today, with my distinguished colleagues, the Minister for Agriculture and the Minister for Industry, I'm very pleased and proud to announce this important initiative on country of origin labelling. You can see before you exactly what we have in mind. If a product has got the green and gold kangaroo triangle, it is made or processed in Australia. If the product has the gold bar, the product is Australian. So it's really a very simple and straightforward initiative which is designed to ensure that people right around the world know that what they are buying is Australian. I want to thank both ministers for the work they've done on this. This really is important, and this is something that the Australian public have wanted for a long time, and I'm pleased that this government is determined to give it to them. Barnaby?
Well, thank you very much, Prime Minister, and also thank you to my good friend and colleague, Macca, for all the work you've done. Obviously, what this is about is being truthful to the Australian people about what they buy with their money. The Australian people overwhelmingly wanted greater clarification and greater honesty in the description of where their product comes from. This was seen in its most pronounced form when it came to Australian produce, and especially the closer you got to fresh produce. What this has allowed us to do is to say to people, well, you have a free choice. We are not being parochial. You can buy whatever product you want from wherever you wish. But if you choose to say, well, I want to buy something that is underpinned by Australian phytosanitary requirements, underpinned by my desire to see our dollars go back to the Australian farm, then I have a right to do that, and I have a right to use my money that I've earned to buy that product. In the past, it was always a case of frustration where you would pick up a can and it would say something like "Made in Australia." The overwhelming sentiment of that statement was that obviously this product is Australian. Then on greater investigation, it became quite apparent it was anything but Australian. It might have been put into a can in Australia, but that's about as far as it went. What this does is gives you a clear understanding. Number one, if it's been manufactured or substantially changed, it's Australian. If it has Australian produce, it will be registered by a gold mark on this bar graph. That's simple, as we said it would be. It's diagrammatic, as we said it would be. It's proportional, as we said it would be. And it's compulsory, as we said it would be. And I thank everybody for this process. I think this sits on the back of a white paper that we have delivered, substantial increase in the outcomes for agriculture in a white paper. On a new live cattle deal to China, substantial increase in what we are doing for the Australian market in beef. In 6 new, and that'll be our 7th new live animal destination. On 3 new free trade agreements, substantial increase in what we are doing for agriculture. This really does show that a difference in government makes a difference, and it makes a difference to the lives of the people who elect us.
Macca?
Well, when I was a farmer at Bundoomith over 30 years ago, I began a campaign in the Grain Growers Association to satisfy consumers' desire to know that the soya beans, sunflowers, peanuts, etc. that I and other farmers grew were actually Australian when they bought them in the supermarket. My produce was being marketed as made in Australia from local or imported peanuts. That told the consumers nothing. That began the journey, which has culminated in today with a simple, straightforward solution to labelling, which, as you can see, the consumers don't even have to reach into their pocket, pull out their glasses for. They don't have to read the text unless they want to, because the symbol will tell them exactly that it's made in Australia or processed in Australia. The gold bar will tell them how much is Australian produce. The manufacturers in Australia will be able to reap a benefit, as we've seen from SPC, who are clearly branding their products with that triangle to identify them as Australian processed, Australian fruit. Other manufacturers are doing the same. The supermarkets, Woolies and Coles, are saying to us, we want this branding so that we can tell our consumers where the produce has come from and who's processed it. So today is a major milestone that will not only support farmers who produce quality produce, but will support Australian food manufacturers who have the highest standards in processing.
Okay, do we have